Hey, what up guys? This video I have a deck profile for Shaddoll, which is I never played this deck before and I wanted to try to incorporate with other archetype, and I tried that with Witchcrafter. And it's a really interesting how this played out because I tried a couple times and it still works. So I want to show you guys what I have in this deck and extra deck and side deck, and let me know what you guys think on the comment section below. If you have any question, please comment that about it and some suggestion as well. Alright, the first card is Shaddoll Wendy. So she's a new card for Shaddoll. So basically if she's flipped, you can special summon Shaddoll monster except its own name from my deck in face down position. Also, she can also do that by sending herself by a card effect, by other card effects, and yeah, basically special summon Shaddoll monster from the deck. So it's a really good powerful card to have free special summoning. So I don't think there's any other card does that except Falco, but this card is really powerful, and especially it's a win if you have fusion for win and Shaddoll. It's pretty good material to use it. Or the next card is Shaddoll Chaos. I don't know how to pronounce that, sorry. So this is a new card for Shaddoll deck. If he's flipped, you can special summon Shaddoll monster from your hand in face up or face down defense position. And if he's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can send Shaddoll monster from your hand to the graveyard, and rest of this turn, all my monsters I control gain attack and defense equals its sent monster level times 100. So if I send like level 4, all my monster increases attack and defense by 400. So it's a pretty decent card to boost up my monsters, and then you can special summon if I flip them up. So yeah, it's a pretty decent card. I mean, 2 copies is not that bad, but 1 copy, between 1 and 2 copies should be good enough for this. Or the next card is Shaddoll Hedgehog. So this is a really good card as a search. If he's flipped, I can search any spell, Shaddoll spell or trap from my deck to your hand. Also, if he's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, I can search any Shaddoll monster except its own name from my deck and add it to my hand. So it has both, you can do both ways. Or 2 of them if it's flipped and then sent to the graveyard as a material, so you can do both of them. So it's a really nice combo when you have searching, have stuff ready in your hand, and you have fusion monsters. Or the next card is Beast. I like him because if he's flipped, I can draw 2 cards and discard 1 card. Also, if he's sent by a graveyard to the graveyard by a card effect, I can draw 1 card. So it gives me a draw engine for this deck. Unless I use something like Alert Darkness, it still gives me a draw engine. The next card is Dragon. So I put 1 copy because I don't think it's necessary to have this card all the time. But basically, if it flips summon, you can target 1 card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. If it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, I can target 1 spell trap card on the field, destroy it. It's kind of like an MST version, but you don't really immediately use this card, and you have other ways to destroy spell and trap card on the field. The next card is Squamata, I think. I don't know how to pronounce that. So if it's flip summon, it can target 1 monster on the field, destroy it. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, it can send Shaddoll monster card, actually, any Shaddoll card from deck to the graveyard. So it's a really nice card. It's like a Foolish Barrier Goods, and it's not too bad actually, but just having 1 copy. Alright, the next card is Hound. So if he's flipped, you can target Shaddoll card in your graveyard, add it to my hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, I can target 1 monster on the field, change its battle position. If it's flip summon monster except Shaddoll, their effects are negated. So that's what the text says. So it's a really nice, decent card to go against any flip based deck. So if you want to go against that, and you can basically block their effect. Ghost Trick is a good example. Or the next card is Falco. So like I said earlier, if I said it, target 1 Shaddoll monster in your graveyard, special summon it if it's flipped. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, I can special summon it. So it's like a recycling kind of thing. You basically special summon it, but it's only once per turn. Or the last Shaddoll monster is Naelshaddoll Ariel, sorry. If she's flip summon, you can target 1 of the banished Shaddoll monsters, special summon it in face up or face down defense position. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, I can target up to 3 cards in my graveyard. In the graveyards, actually. In the graveyards. banish them. So you can actually use it. It's a very similar to DD Crow or down something Call by the Grave. So it's a really powerful card to just banish them, and if you want to have one or two, that's fine. Alright, moving on, switching off to Witchcrafter. So we have monsters, Schmietta. So she's really good. Well, just to let you know, like Potterie, Pittore, even Genni, they have their quick effect during the main phase. Basically tribute themselves, discard spell card, and then special summon Witchcrafter monster accept its own name from the deck. So just to let you know that. But if you can banish these guys, I can trigger their effect like her. I can send Witchcrafter card from deck to the graveyard. The next card is Pittore. So like I said earlier, you can do the quick effects if you want. I have one copy of her, and she's a water attribute, so you can use the fusion for water Shaddoll monster, fusion monster. And you can banish her from the graveyard and draw one card, and then discard Witchcrafter card if you have it. Otherwise, you have to banish all of them. Alright, the next is Potterie. So she's level 1, 2000 defense, pretty decent defense actually. If you have no cards in your hand, you can banish this card and then add any Witchcrafter spell card in your graveyard to your hand. So this is just another recycle technique for this deck. It's just in case you have no, like if you have a lot of special summoning and you have nothing in your hand and you already have her in the graveyard, you can do that. And you might want to think about having creation because you need to bring this Witchcrafter spell cards from the graveyard. So that's just another one strategy to do so for this deck. Right, this one's a recent card for Witchcrafter is Genni. So she is pretty decent. It's a similar effect for the first one. The second is you can banish this card and other Witchcrafter spell card. You can apply the effect of that spell card. I believe that's what it means. I hope that's what it is. This is very similar to the Dark Lord technique. But basically, you can use that effect. Let's say creation. If I banish this card and creation, I can use that creation's effect. Alright, I have the boss monster, Madame Verre, I think. So she's a really powerful card. I wish I have 2, maybe 3, but 1 should be alright. I mean, you have other light monster to play with. So basically, as a quick effect, you can discard 1 card, spell card, and then negate all current monster your opponent controls. Their effects are negated. So basically, that's just blocking your opponent's combo when they have their effects once per turn. And then if she battles or any of your spellcaster battles, you can reveal any number of spell cards with different names and increases attack and defense equal to that number multiply 1,000. So it's a really powerful effect. Alright, the next thing is Haine. I like her because it's a quick effect. You can discard a spell card and target 1 card on the field, destroy it. Or the last Witchcrafter cards is Golem, Aruru. So I really want to have 2 copies. 1 or 2 would be good, but 2 is pretty good. But basically, as a quick effect, if your opponent activates a card effect or as a target as attack to your spellcaster, you can special summon her, and then you can target monster your opponent controls. You can return that monster to the hand, or you can return one of your Witchcrafter spell card from your graveyard to your hand. Alright, moving on to spell cards. I have 3 copies of Shaddoll Fusion. It's a really powerful card actually. It's pretty much almost closely the same power as the Super Poly, but basically I can special summon, it's like a polymerization, but if your opponent controls a monster from an extra deck, you can actually use monsters from your deck as materials. Alright, the next card is Naelshaddoll Fusion. So it's a similar effect as polymerization, but it's a quick effect. So I recommend to have 3 copies of this in case your opponent's trying to activate a card effect, a target, or attack. You can use this to get away from that. So it's a nice combo and chain. So 3 copies will be best works for this. Okay, now switching gear to Witchcrafter again. So I would have 3 Witchcrafter Creation. I just pre-order Witchcrafter Creation from the new set Dual Overload. So I'm gonna have that pretty soon. So basically just search your Witchcrafter monster from your deck and to your hand once per turn. Just having this card was really good to search, easy search, and you have 3 copies. So I recommend to have that in your deck. Okay, you can use other Witchcrafter spell cards for this deck, but it's all up to you. If you want to just have 3 by street, or if you want to have 2 draping, 3 holiday, or whatever, it's all up to you. I'm just having 1 copy for each of these just as a foundation, and if you think you have better idea for this deck, please let me know. Alright, the next card is Reasoning. It's a really good card because I have different kinds of levels in this deck, monsters in the deck. So basically I could just let your opponents declare any level, and then if I send any monster that, let's say Shaddoll, then I could just trigger their effect. If it's at the same level. If it's a different level, then it's fine because I can use fusion, or I could do synchro, you know, whatever. So it gives me pretty decent combo for this card. My Foolish Verre is always a good card. It's still limited, but it's really decent for any card, any deck that just requires sending to the graveyard. Alright, so 1 copy monster Reborn, special summon any monster from either graveyard. So having this card always is a good thing. And the last card is Pot of Avarice. So now this is limited to 1. Basically target 5 monsters in your graveyard, shuffle them to the deck, and then draw 2 cards. So it's kind of another pot series, but it was banned, but now you can use this for pretty much anything that requires recycling. So this is another way to recycle your deck. Alright, now let's move on to extra deck. There's a new card that came out from the extra deck. This is Naelshaddoll Ariel, I think. So it requires 2 attributes of 2 Shaddolls, and then basically you can use 2 of these effects once per turn. If it's special summon, you can target 1 card on the field, negate its effect. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can either search Shaddoll card from deck or graveyard to your hand and then discard 1 card. So it's a really nice search engine and then discarding effect. So having this card 2 copies is pretty good. I do have Shaddoll Construct. Sorry about the mess here. Constructs, having this card is really good as well. I have the Grista because I have fire, like Schmietta. I have her as well. I'm gonna have her because of the wind. Dark Monster, because of the pottery. And I do have the Dark Monsters Starving Venom. It's really nice to have this card for any fusion based deck, or pretty much in general. And the rest are just Construct, Underclock, Akashic, I guess, Crawley, and then lastly Topologic. I mean, these are just, I don't know, the foundation. It's not really the best competitive ways to put it, but this is just to set you guys off as a reference, see what you can do better for your extra deck. Oh, the last thing is side deck. Not so much to do with it, but I can do better. You guys can do better. I have 1 Summoner Monk, just 1 or maybe 2. I have 2 of her Naelshaddoll Fusion in case I need additional ways to put for fusion. Super Poly, it's always good, powerful card of all time. 2 copies, 3 copies, it's up to you. I have Allure Darkness. Like I said earlier, I have the Beast. I can replace that with this card, but I can put both, it's up to me. But yeah, Allure Darkness is always a good card for a draw engine. Twin Twisters, destroy up to 2 spell trap cards on the field by discarding. 2 instant fusions, or maybe 3. It's nice to have this card for free fusion summoning. And the last thing is Necrofusion. So fusion summon any monsters with the right materials from the graveyard by banishing them. So it's a really nice way to fusion summon your fusion monsters. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I haven't really posted a lot of videos or even social media stuff. I haven't done as much because of the coronavirus and stuff, so, and school stuff, yada yada. So I'm trying to do stuff, trying to do more videos for you guys because I'm in home more often. So I'll try to do that. Also, I order a couple of things like the random lots of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, like people have been doing that on YouTube. So I ordered 2 sets of those, and I want to see if I can open that for you guys. If you do, please let me know in the comment section below, or smash the like and see if I can do it for you guys. So I ordered it, so it's gonna come in a few days hopefully. And yeah, I hope I can do that for you guys. So anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you guys see you next time.